Welcome back. Now that you've heard about the business model canvas, I'm happy to receive Renée Messen, and she's here with us to talk about her specific project, a social enterprise, with the purpose of actually both generating revenue but also creating a social impact. So welcome, Renée. Thank you for taking time to talk to us.
Thank you.
So you have this little project that you've been working on for a while.
Yeah.
Hueforbi. Yes, can you tell us a little bit about what the concept is? What do you actually produce? What is it that you're selling?
I'm selling beanies made from leftover wool.
Mm-hmm.
So a lot of people have a lot of leftover wool at home. They never finish their projects at home. And I gather all of that and I make beanies for the homeless.
Can I have a look? Oh, those are very nice.
Mm?
So you produce this yourselves?
Yes.
And then you sell them or do you donate them?
Both.
Both. Okay.
I sell, first of all, I have maybe 10 hats and I try and sell as many as I can. The leftovers I'll give out to the homeless.
Okay.
The homeless are not as critical about what they look like.
And then some of them you do sell to people who are willing to buy them.
Yes.
So
yes.
in essence, if you try to link this back to the business model canvas that we talked about before, essentially you have two customer segments that you address. So one of them would be the homeless people, and the other one would be private people interested in buying these things. So speaking of the customer segments, we talked about the fact that you have two customer segments. You have the homeless people who receive these beanies for free, and then you have private people who purchase these beanies. How are they different? How is the value proposition different for these two people? Who buys these, for example?
Well, the person who would buy something like this would want something that's really good quality and it doesn't have any itch in it because you have fleece on the inside.
Yeah.
So I guess if you want to portray being a bit more socially conscious about your environment, and because it's also reused yarn, it's an environmental choice and it's also a socially conscious choice.
So in a sense it would do something for me as an individual in terms of my conscience, and maybe also there's a certain signal that I'll be sending to other peers who can recognize this logo.
Yes.
And in a sense I'll be part of this community of people who are in it for changing the game.
Yeah.
Very interesting. So today, how do you sell these? How do I find you and how do I acquire such a nice beanie?
Well, this is still a bit underground, so at the moment it's mouth to mouth. So a lot of the people I've sold these to have recommended their wives to get one, or their friends or their colleagues to get one. And then they recommend, and that's how it goes at the moment.
So does that mean that people contact you and then you ship it off in a package to them, or do you meet with them?
I actually meet with people and I try and make that a standard, because I don't want to involve any freight or any shipping unless people want to send me an envelope with stamps on, because I don't want to have any cash in hand at any moment. So
do you sometimes show it off at different locations in order to get customers, or is it just the referrals that you make this business?
To begin with, I started making a lot of them and leaving them at the dining table at work and just lining them up, and people would tell me which ones they'd like, and I'd sew fleece in them.
Yeah.
So you can get whatever color fleece I do have available.
I see. So you could say that in terms of channels, it's pretty much physical channels that you're using. You don't have any virtual channels. I won't be able to buy this
the moment.
In a web shop or anything like this.
I'd like it to go that way, but at the moment it's more on a person-to-person sale.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's all direct, so it's all you who handle these things.
Yes.
Could you consider maybe expanding the sales, maybe selling not directly to the customers, but maybe through a retail link, maybe having deals with stores or
I'd really enjoy that, and I would maybe choose more hipster kind of shops. So I wouldn't go to the big fancy mainstream shops. I'd go to the smaller retail shops around Copenhagen to start with.
Okay. And so far it's not the case, but it could be.
It could be, and I think it will be.
Okay. You could think of maybe making use of retail connections and selling through shops and stores in order for you to actually generate more revenue, create more impact for the homeless.
Yeah.
In that connection, the personal relationship that you have at this current time with the specific homeless people might not be the same anymore, or the relationship that you have with the customers, which is one-to-one, face-to-face, and you hand over the beanie directly, might not be feasible anymore if you're actually selling a volume which is much larger than it is today.
Yeah.
How do you see these things evolving?
I think you'd have to have some of it be without the personal contact, but I'd still get some of it. Yeah. And I'd still get the response from people that I'd like, and people can also contact me on my Facebook page and ask me questions about the whole project.
So you have a Facebook page?
Yes.
Okay. How is that working?
Every time I do something new or I've finished a lot of beanies, I will take a picture and put it on Facebook and listen to what people think about the colors or the different kinds.
And you might actually be able to use this webpage, this community at the end of the day, and scale it a bit more so that essentially the private interaction that you have now in the physical space can be translated to a certain extent into the virtual space.
Yes.
Very interesting. So speaking of the actual transaction that happens, the money involved here and the revenue streams. As it is right now, you mentioned before that you're not involved with money in any way.
No.
How is that feasible? How do you actually do it?
Well, Hueforbi, which are the receivers of the money.
Could you tell us about Hueforbi? It's an interesting organization.
Yeah, they're an organization that sell newspapers to the homeless people. They actually have to buy them themselves. And then they sell it for a bit more money, and then some of the money goes back to pay for the newspaper and the production of the newspaper, and the rest of the money goes to the homeless person himself.
Very interesting. And what is the partnership that you have with Hueforbi at the current moment?
I've actually, to start with, I just started making beanies for the homeless people because I felt sorry that a lot of them didn't have a beanie, or they looked really cold, I had a really thin beanie on. So I started making them, and I thought maybe I should contact Hueforbi and ask if I can use the word Hueforbi, which is a play on words. So it's almost the same as Hueforbi, but Hueforbi means house over, and this one means beanie over. Okay. So it's for people who doesn't have a good hat or a good protection against the winter, which is the same concept as the house. So yeah.
I see. So when I buy this, how much do you charge for it?
150 Danish
kroners. So what happens to this money? Do I hand it over to you?
No, I'd like if you didn't, and that's why I've used the code. There's an internet, or what do you call it, a telephone code, where you can send homeless, the word homeless, to a number. It's on the back of the Hueforbi paper. Yeah. And then that donates 150 kroner directly into Hueforbi.
And basically, if I'm buying this from you, I would enter the code, show you that I've actually transferred the money to the NGO, to the organization.
So it would just be like an electronic
I would be receiving
receipt.
this.
Yeah.
How do the free beanies fit into the picture?
The free beanies are they're only for the homeless people. So you have to be living on the street, having a rough time, or going through, a lot of people.
Are they the same as these ones? Or
they're exactly the same.
Okay.
I don't make any discrimination. I don't make nicer beanies for.
And what is the ratio of sold beanies and free beanies for the homeless?
It's maybe 90% I give away and 10% I sell.
Okay.
Yeah.
Is that the ratio that you would like to keep, or would you be moving towards having a different ratio?
Well, that's the ratio of last year, so we'll just have to see. I have a lot more in stock this year, and I have a lot of people helping me make them this year. So we'll have a lot more beanies, and we'll see how many sell. It depends on how much they get exposed. And
okay, so we're now moving into the production side, so the supply side of actually making this. So you mentioned you started out making these yourselves.
Yes.
Now you have a team. Who are these people?
Well, they're all volunteers, so through my Facebook page, I've been writing, I'd like to hear from people who are interested in helping me make these, And people that are interested in making them will contact me and say, oh, I need all the time and I need new projects and can I help you? And I say, yes, just come past my apartment and pick up some yarn and then you can make them and you just bring the beanie back to me.
And then you will go out and reach out to the homeless people and hand them out.
Yes.
And also do the sales, go out and physically sell them to the people who want to pay 150 kroners for these. Okay.
But the only criteria with the standard is that I do sew in the fleece myself, and it has to be hand stitched to get the right stretch in it. And I put on my logo, which is also handmade with stencil.
Okay. So in a sense, you could say that you're creating partnerships and you're outsourcing part of the production to other people, volunteers that you're mobilizing into your social movement.
They're really happy to help me, and I'm happy for the help.
And in terms of the input, the material, the yarn, where do you get that?
It's also from people that follow me on Facebook, and then I contact different yarn boutiques and shops, and I just walk in there, I'm a bit cheeky, and just ask them, do you have any colors that don't sell, or do you have any kind of material that you could spare? And I just receive it all. Okay.
Does that take a long time for you? Is it cumbersome work to actually make sure that you get the input that is required for production? So if you see this as relationships with a supplier, you need the yarn essentially to make these beanies. Then you have the actual production of the beanies, and then you also have the sales part of the beanies. Of these three links, where is the challenge?
I guess the challenge is to get more volunteers to help me make them, because I have a lot of yarn at home now. I have a whole room in my apartment full of cardboard boxes where I color coordinate all the donations. And I would like to spend more time on the last end of it, where I actually hand them out and spend time with the homeless.
So in a sense, you have different functions. There is different activities, if you use the terminology in the business model canvas. So in a sense, you could say that part of it is production activities. You also have networking activities, reaching out to potential partners. It could be partners on the supply side, people who are offering you the yarn. It could also be partners on the receiving end, so essentially making sure that you have a good relationship with different homeless people and communities that take care and work with homeless people. So that's a lot of outreach activities as well. Marketing, you need to keep a Facebook page up and running and so on. And of course there's the physical sales as well. You go out and you present these to people who want to pay 150 kroners for it. So if you look at all these different activities that you have, the ones that interest you the most would be the actual handing them over to the homeless people and interacting with them. Am I correct?
And making them. I kind of enjoy that because I can't stop crocheting. It's a bit of an addictive thing. So you might as well get something out of your production. So the challenge for
you now is to scale this so that you can almost make a living of it, right? Right now it's a hobby project.
That's the dream.
And the dream is to scale this in a way that makes sense for you so that you can live off it. So at the end of the day, that would require more revenue that you're getting now. You're going to need to sell more of these. Do you have an approximation? How much more do you have to sell in order for this to be viable for you?
I'm not sure how many I need to sell. It'll have to just be, you know, I do have a part-time job next to doing this, and I'd like to eventually do this full-time. And I do have a husband who will take care of the economical part of the deal. Yes. So it's not because of the economy that I'm not doing it full-time. It's because I do need to have a bit of a routine and check out the market first, and then gradually move into it. But it will take a couple of years maybe to go all the way. Okay, so in terms of the activities, getting back to that, which ones are you gonna outsource more and which ones are you gonna stick to yourself? Well, the sales part, I wouldn't mind just handing it over to someone and they will take care of it. And I kind of do enjoy spending time with the homeless. The thing is, when I give a beanie to a homeless person, I do ask them for a story in return. So they will tell me whatever story they'd like from their life in return, and you have a bit of a talk. And yes, it's really nice for me as well to get a personal relationship to the people in my neighborhood. And that is something that you want to keep at a personal level. It's not something that you want to involve in the business. I don't take any pictures, and I don't write any of the stories down. They're just for me.
Okay.
So that's my pay.
So using this as marketing stories is not something that you consider? Okay, because of privacy issues and so on.
Yeah.
So thinking of the business model canvas, now we worked a little bit on it earlier today. Could you see yourself evolving in different directions? Having, considering scaling in different ways, maybe relying even more on retail stores than what is the case today, maybe expanding into different customer segments. Instead of just selling to private individuals, you might sell to companies that are looking for company wear for their staff or something like that.
Yeah.
Could that be an option? Or maybe you could think of different types of revenue models. Maybe you could do, we talked about a subscription model, which is very uncommon for these types of things, but could be feasible.
Yeah.
Essentially, people could come and exchange their beanies for new ones, and the relationship with you would be a subscription type of membership revenue. Of course, these are all different options. Would you like to take some time until we see each other next time and develop some options on an actual business model canvas? And then we can work through it and figure out which option would probably be best for you for the future.
Yeah, that sounds good.
Okay, great. Thank you very much.
Thank you.